Umenishika kagava, yeah. Umenishika kagava. Umenishika kagavament. Usiniachilie. Umenishika kagava. Umenishika kagavament. Umenishika kagava. Usiniachilie. Yo ni aje wase, Maga the fella of acapellas, and welcome to the ZERITE Experience. Maga the fella is that fella who's not only, but the main thing he does in life is music. And the reason I do music is because one thing, music is supposed to teach. Music is a form of communication, is a communication tool. So Maga the fella is an artist, an artist come musician, and is also a father of two. Yes. So the reason I do music, as you've just heard, is because music is a communication tool, and I like to communicate a lot with the ladies, with problems in society. And what I do is basically, I'm a professional performing artist, live performing artist. That's how I make my living. Napiga shows, napiga mziki, na release mziki, I shoot videos. So my career as a person, as a man, is music. That's what I do. Not only singing, but anything that has to do with music. I play instruments. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I'm a producer. I write songs, I arrange, I compose. So music is everything to me. Cheza na mziki, cheza na mziki. Yeah, kweli. Now my musical experience began way back as a child from my dad. My dad was a very good a singer. So he was although he wasn't a professional artist, but he was a very good singer. So we just used to sing in the house, but he had another job. And the thing is, from that young age, what I learned from him was the musicality. You cannot sing off key. You have to hit your notes right. You have to maintain your breath. You have to learn how to write. So back then as a kid, for me, it was just a hobby, but I didn't know what he was saying. But later, I got the interest into the music. And as a career, I'd say this. At first, I wanted to be many things, the way a child would want to be a doctor, but honest for me, the most things I wanted to be had everything to do with music. Either I wanted to be an instrumentalist, a singer, or a producer, but nothing outside music because of what I'd seen and the life I'd gone through. So I loved music because we had music in the house 24/7. We used to sing in the house as a family, play music as a family in the house, play drums, guitar. So for me, music was there from the word go, and that's how, for me, I think I'm comfortable because it was there from the word go. I didn't have to force myself to like it. But I got serious with it after high school. In high school is when the realization came through, but after high school, that's when the entire thing came into being. That's when, after high school, I met Red Acapella. I actually wasn't there when it was being formed, but I actually knew some of the members because we were friends back in high school as competitors through music and drama festivals. So I was just like, when it had just been formed, it was just a bit new, but we were together in Red Cross. The thing was that the music is what brought everybody, is what glued us together, the music. So after high school, I went into Red Acapella. Not immediately. After a few years, I joined Red Acapella. And then, after that, still the dream kept going. So most of the guys we were within Red Acapella got other things to do. Some of them, because of life stories, you never know what happens. So most of them, they didn't like actually quit, but they drew their attention to other things that matter to them in life. So, and that is not a bad thing, because even most of them we still work together up to now, but they are not actively involved in music. They're behind the scenes. So even the things I'm doing right now, most of them are involved, but behind the scenes. Then from that, we remain two guys. Right now I'm just one guy, Akafella. It's just Maga the fella. But right now, the thing for me, the musical journey has been so blessing and so also painful, because we always learn daily. I didn't know I was gonna end up alone, but for me, everybody that was involved was a very vital part of my journey, and they still are up to now, because without them, I could not be who I am now. So my musical journey from my childhood to high school to right now has been fueled by the desire and hunger to be in the music industry, not just a musician, but in the music industry. So whoever I've met in my journey, even if they're not in the music industry, they've helped me be who I am as Maga in the music industry. So for me, I think my journey, I'd say, I think I'm one of the most, if not, I'm one of the most fortunate people in the music industry. So I think for us for me personally, is a blessing, and it's something I don't know how to pay back, because I can never pay back for what I've been blessed with through my friends and the people that have come into my life to bless me with whatever I have up to now. So it's just a big thank you to whoever's been or has just crossed my path in the entire journey to make my musical career successful. So my music from my childhood up to now, that's the story. From young age to drama festivals, to a cappella, to now Maga the fella. Welcome back to the ZERITE experience. As you just heard, this is the second questioning session. Now, you're talking about my challenges. The challenges that I've had in the music industry. Initially, I thought they'll be different, but it's just, let me put it this way, the simplest way. The challenges you face, that I've faced in the music industry, is the same as the challenges you face in your marriage, you face in your work, you face in your home, you face with your friends. As in, it's just simple. It's the everyday things: lack of money, lack of motivation, laziness, bad friends, poor leadership. So anything that is not successful, it doesn't matter what it is: sports, entertainment, politics. The challenges are all the same. They're consistent. If it's money, if money lacks in sports and money lacks in entertainment, money lacks everywhere, everything becomes bad. So for me, the first challenge wasn't even monetary. The first challenge was access. Access to what? Access to the things that I need musically. Access to the people who matter in the industry. Access to producers. Access to having better, let's say, access to even all these, what do we call them? Opportunities and venues. You see, you might be a very good artist, but if there's no stage for you to perform, that's a challenge. You see, you might have the money and make the best beat, but if there's no radio station to play it, that's a challenge, you see. So for me, initially, it was the passion, and my challenge with the people I was with back then was the commitment. So we cannot all be thinking the same, but if your thinking is not the same, how do we progress? We can't. So for the biggest challenge was, how do we take everybody's interest and make it everybody's interest without seeming like we are too much into someone else's interest or to my interest. So the only thing that brought us together then was music. But when our personal interests began taking center stage, that's when now the challenge began. Because now, how do you handle your personal life with the musical life and with your friends and with the company and with the team? It's very difficult. Now, your family wants this life for you. What do you want? Your peers want this life for you. What do you want? Your girlfriend wants this life for you. What do you want? So those are the challenges that I'd faced most. I thought the challenge would be music, but it wasn't music. Most of the challenge came from outside music. That is where the challenge came from. So for me, I thought it would be not being played, not having shows. If you're a musician, it does not matter whether you're good or bad. The show will always be there. You will always be played. The difference is the frequency. The good artist, the frequency of his song being played or her song being played is higher. The work artist, the frequency is lower, but you still get played. So you still get paid. If your work, the frequency of getting paid is lower. If you're a good artist, the frequency of your pay is higher. So the wavelength is the only difference. So are you on the higher wavelength or the lower wavelength? So for me, I thought that would be the challenge, but for me, that wasn't the challenge. My personal life was more the challenge than the music. So I had to try and figure out how am I going to merge my personal life with my music without interrupting my vision and my dreams of where I want to be. And it's very difficult, and that's why you need proper friends, proper leadership and counseling, and that's why you need to take care of yourself and think properly. It's not easy. The older you get, the higher you get, the more challenging it becomes and the more obstacles. So for me, I'd say the most and the heaviest challenge I had at that time was my personal life. It wasn't even music, because the music was perfect, and that is why, because all my music had feelings, had emotions, because of my personal life. The thing is, I realized with challenges, there are not supposed to be no challenges. Without challenges, why do you wake up? Without rent to pay, that's a challenge. Why do you wake up? Without kids to feed, why do you wake up? Without funds to feed your music, why do you wake up? Without the people you sell your goods to, why do you wake up? So challenges are what make people. So without challenges, you're nobody. You're as good as dead. So challenges are what determine who you are and how far you go in life. The harder the challenge and the harder you overcome them, the better. So if you overcome something small, there's a bigger one waiting for you. So I'm always expecting it, because right now, I'm in a very big challenge right now. So I have to keep digging deep. So the more I overcome, the more they're there for me to overcome. So I just overcame one, and there's more to overcome anyway. My mainstay is Rumba music, aka Rumba / Benga. And mostly Benga, but also mostly Rumba. Initially, I didn't begin like this, but it's something that has been in me entirely. But professionally, it's something I've tried to do, and I'm so grateful and happy the way the industry received this music, because initially nobody was sure, because nobody had heard this music before. But when it came out first with Taboo, that was like a very let me say, like, crossing the boundaries of how we do music back here, because it was the first of its kind to be done here back in Kenya. So guys really received it well, and now they expected that all the time. But my music is not only Rumba or Benga. I'm just an artist, I'm just a musician, because I do not like to box myself. The most of the music I do, 90% is Rumba music, but I'm not a Rumba artist. I can sing reggae 90%, I'm not a reggae artist. I can't even do hip hop, I'm not a rapper. The thing is, once you start classifying, the problem now becomes you cannot represent the society. You only represent certain issues that feel obliged or feel like they are tied to those genres. So people think that you only sing reggae because you're poor. You only sing R&B because you're in love. You only sing hip hop because you're a thug. No. The thing is, all these labels are the ones that divide people. I do sing Rumba, but I'm not a Rumba artist. But the thing is, that is where I feel most comfortable. I can do anything I want, but that is where I can comfortably express my message and feel this is where I can say it without hesitation, and also not say something that will also incriminate myself. So I think for me, I just say Afro, because I'm an Afro artist, I'm an African. Afro is the better word, because Afro is everything African. But now if you want to go deep, there's the rumba, there's benga. And if you want to know that, you can check out my page. And it's as if you had read a couple of songs. So we keep growing. I'm not going to do that for long. Obviously, like right now, I'm in the process of change. I'm trying to find some other kind of sound. So it's always about, if I'm bored, I have to find something because I get bored quickly. So who knows? It might even take a shorter time. Yes. Maga the fellas, you know, apart from being a very good singer and multi-instrumentalist, I'm also a producer. Most of my songs, I produce 99% of my songs. I like to work with other producers because it gives me something different, but I produce my songs 99%, if not 100. I arrange my songs all the time. So the thing for me, production for me was actually who I wanted to be. I wanted to become a producer. Because at a young age, I would listen to the song on the radio. I'm like, hey, how did those guys think like that? How did the beat come up? How did he know? So I was very curious, like how would I become like those guys? But eventually, I would spend so much time on the radio, just overdubbing on the cassette, dubbing and dubbing and dubbing, and rapping and singing and dubbing myself on the radio as a child. And I remember one time I spoiled my dad's radio and he beat me. He beat me up really well, but that is a story for another day. The thing is, from that day, that was the turning point, because I could not imagine how could I be beaten because of such a thing. But I didn't realize what I just done. But I just made something very, very creepy. So from that day, I was still in primary school, funny enough. I've never looked back, but my production began in earnest when I met Dilly. When I met Dilly is when now it really took off. Before then, I'd tried, we had worked with Kasongo and also the Gopa DJs at that time. But I wasn't very comfortable until now I met Dilly. That is when now it really now took off. So ever since then, it's been 10 years now. Ever since then, we've just been keeping up. So for me, production began back then, but in earnest, like 2-3 years ago, is when now it's really taken shape. So I've just been learning. I'm still learning. We all learn. I've not learned anything yet, but I hope the little I've learned will just keep pushing me forward. So production is one of the things I do, and it's actually how I make most of my living. That's how I make most of my money, through production. So music is gonna take center stage soon because you know, we have to survive in this economy, Corona economy. We have to survive, so we have to make money. So production for me, guys, I began it. Sijakuwa mnoma sana, ati mimi ni mnoma. No, nimeanza, man. So boost me up, holla at your boy, and let's see what we can do. That's so easy. Compatibility with the artist. I don't miss stuff to msanii mnoma ama wank. I don't care if kama ulianza jana, kama umeshinda Grammy ama uko wako. I don't look at those things. Those things don't matter. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they're old. But now I don't even care. I don't even care what your name is. I care about the ear. If my ear doesn't like what you're saying or how you're doing it, doesn't make sense, it doesn't. You know why? It's not because I'm perfect, because I just follow music, and music is about the ear. So what I mostly expect from an artist, number one, organization. That is how we're going to work nicely, because if the artist is organized and they come into the studio organized, you guys are going to have fun times making some nice music. The problem is this: most artists want to come and write their rhymes in the studio. It's a business. We are there to make money. A studio has to run, has to make money. So we are not in the studio to keep writing songs the entire day for one beat. No. If at most you have 2 hours or 1 hour, go with the beat home, come back after 2 days, you've written the song, you've rehearsed, and you're perfect. But if you come writing the song in my studio, you're wasting my time. So it doesn't matter how good you are, you're just killing my energy. I'm there to just start producing. If you're there to start writing and start taking time, you kill my energy. So the first thing I look for in an artist is discipline, compatibility, the energy, and so much stuff. All these things I've just said are just narrow down to one thing: discipline. And discipline will tell you how the artist behaves. An artist who comes to write in the studio is a very indisciplined artist. You might write because maybe we are writing in the studio, but we cannot plan for something that was already there and then you do something in another different way. So I think if you're an artist and comes to the studio, there must be compatibility between you and the producer, and you must love what you're doing and take it seriously. So for me, the artist must take the music as their only profession in life. So for me, before you come to my studio, the things I look for most in artists: number one, discipline. And in discipline, there are so many things: compatibility, rehearsals, knowing a vision, where the artist wants to be. They know whatever their genre that they are doing, they know everything about themselves. So uni msanii amejipanga, but msanii hajajipanga ndio msanii atakusumbua. So I think for me, I think it sums it up. For you to work with me, you must have discipline and vision. Without those two, look for another person, I think. Maga the fella, hapa leo niko kwenye ZERITE Experience na manze, leo ni kubaya. Leo ni kubaya manze, maswali ni moto. Sasa kuna swali moto sana ambayo inaongelea about my solo projects. Actually, nimekuwa nikifanya for some time, but I've just released one juicy, courtesy of these hard times we are going through in the corona era. So it's called Overcome. You can subscribe to my YouTube. My YouTube channel is Maga, and then I'm also on IG Maga the Fella, Twitter Maga the Fella, Facebook Maga the Fella. My solo project is mostly I am. Yes, I am. But I'm trying to show people the other side they never knew about me. Most people have known me as a rumba artist my entire career, but I'm here to show people like music is very different. And that's why I'm a producer, because I've been doing these things for some time now, different things. I'm just here to show you guys like I can do something different. And for me, overcome is something personal for me, because I'm also overcoming things in my personal life. And then the corona thing came along. So it's for you guys to also overcome. It's not a song to be sad. It's a song to be happy. So like I said, when I'm sad, I write happy songs. And when I'm happy, I just write happy songs. So sikwangi too sad, man. They miss him say I'm sad. I just like being happy. So my solo project is dropping out in the next 2 months. I still don't have a name, by the way. I still don't have a name, but I'm still thinking. I'll know when it comes out, but still already the first single is out. Is called Overcome. Very soon you're going to get the project on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, anywhere, YouTube, Boomplay, Mzikifiti, anywhere you can find anything. Naivas, kwa duka yoyote pale, hata pale mtaani at your local shops unapata album yangu. But in 2 months time. Si easy. But for now, just enjoy my singles coming out. Then in 2 months time you'll have, it's only going to be 2 singles, but the way Overcome is the first one. I don't know what I'm dropping next. I'm just hoping to see whether it's going to be nice, or I don't know how. So my team is going to look at it. I have a very big team, huge team by there behind me. Team of like 40 people. So majama, it's a very big task and a big ask. So my solo project is coming out soon, and I'm very happy about it. So support your boy. Let's make it so that you make it. So subscribe, I scribe.